Today I'm going to show you, I have a few more cards that I'm going to do, Christmas cards and cards from the Holiday 2018 catalog, and then next week I'm going to move on to the Occasions 2019 catalog. But for today I have a really beautiful card. I'm going to use the First Frost stamp set and the dies and some of the paper that go with it. My catalog's looking kind of worn because, you know, we get to this point, but this is the Frosted Floral Suite. Beautiful, beautiful. It's so pretty. And if you've not taken a look at it, we haven't even used it at my camps or any of my classes yet. But it is the focus of my online class this month, and my online classes are free. All you have to do is purchase the stamp set and the dies and 2 inks. I think the colors are, I should have looked before I started this, Gray Granite and Mary Merlot, I'm pretty sure. If you already have those 2 colors, then you can just substitute for any other colors. Which if you don't have all of the colors in the paper, I would suggest maybe you get one of those. But you just buy these 2. I have the clear amount price, but if you prefer wood, you can get the wood. Wood stamps are going away with the annual catalog. Next year, we won't have any more wood stamps. So if you love wood, then this is a chance to get them. But you get those 2 things, the stamps, the dies, and the 2 stamp pads, and then I will send you the links to either a private YouTube or a private Facebook where you can make the 3 projects. And all of the projects will have elements of the suite, some of the boxwood embellishments or the droplets or the beautiful ribbon, if you've not seen the ribbon. And they will also all have the paper, because the paper in this suite is just stunning. And I know it loses some of it in the video, but it's frosted. So, you know, it's frosted out here. If you are in the Midwest, we don't have, whoops, there's some paper that doesn't even belong in the suite. We don't have the snow that a lot of you guys have, but it's cold. This morning it was, I don't know, around 20. It's still pretty chilly, and I would like to stay in today, but I have to go. I'm going to go out with my daughter to run an errand this afternoon. And if I had my ruthers, I'd just rather be inside with some Christmas music. But this stamp set is designed so it can be Christmas, or it can be, the card I'm going to make today, if you still need Christmas cards, this is the paper actually that's going to be on today's card. This again, I have, you know, we're to the end of, so maybe that's all. We're to the end of the catalog time, and all my paper starts to get mixed up, all the different papers. But it could be a Christmas card if you need a Christmas card, because it looks festive enough, especially with the shimmer. Or if you're done, it could be a birthday card. It could even be a wedding card. It's lovely enough to be. When I opened the stamp set, here's the stamp set. So it does come with the congratulations. It has a wishing you all the best. And then it has this kind of generic, here's to a season filled with warmth, comfort, and good cheer. So you could use that for Christmas, or you could even use it in January for your thank you cards, or just for a thinking of you card in January or February, if you're someplace where it's still going to be chilly in January and February. But when I opened the setup, I have not stamped with this yet. I have with some of my friends, but I personally had not used my stamp set. You can see that it's one of the ones that's got some depth and dimension when you stamp, so you'll get colors of different colors with one inking. But my daughter's used it. So this is not the paper. You can see it's just cardstock, but she stamped with the ink, and then she spritzed it with the shimmer. So it gives the same illusion of the designer series paper. So if you use up all your paper in the future and you have the stamp set, you'll be able to recreate some of the looks. So if you have your catalog, hang on to it, and then you would be able to recreate the paper. So that was pretty when I opened that. So let's get this card made. If you are coming to my camp this weekend, this is one of our camp cards. It's super quick. It does not look, maybe if you don't stamp, you might think, how in the heck did they make that? Because it isn't going to look like it's the fastest card in the world, but it is pretty quick. This is the Mary Merlot. I have a half a sheet of that. Just fold this in half. And then this, of course, is shimmer white, because that's mainly the cardstock that I use. And then I've just cut this 4 inches by 2.5. And then I have 6 colors of ink here, because I want to do some ink that gives some depth, because if you look at this paper here, you can see that most of the flowers here look like they have at least 2 colors. So I want to kind of mimic that with the stamping that I'm going to do. So here I have Pear Pizzazz and Shaded Spruce. So I'm going to use that on this little ferny stamp. You can see, most of you, if you've watched me for a while, I'm not a fan of the stickers on our stamps because they often don't fall off, or don't stick. The stamps fall off. But in the 2019 occasions, we have gone to cling. So they will start to stick. And they really, really, really stick. So in my videos that I will be doing shortly, you're going to see the cling. So if you also have been like me and not used a lot of your stickers, you're going to start to use them because they stick. So I have a full stamp onto my Pear Pizzazz, and then I'm just going to take it and lightly push just kind of around some of the edges with my spruce. And put one there so you can kind of see it gives, not as pretty maybe as the paper because it looks more watercolored, but it gives the same illusion. Again with the pear and just kind of on the edges with the spruce. Do that there. Do it again here. Just put 2 of these down here. You always want to go from your lighter pad to your darker pad just so you don't get dark ink on your pad. So there, I've got this. That's all I need for those. And then at camp, it will be one of the times that, most of the time at camp I don't have them clean their stamps, but we will at this camp because I don't want those colors in for the next person. But you'll just blot those on your chamois and they'll be good. So here I have Blushing Bride and Mary Merlot. And this stamp set comes with 2 roses, and I'm using the smaller one. So first I'm going to ink it in the Blushing Bride. And then just, I'm barely going to press onto this. But I tried kind of rolling it around, and it wasn't working. So I'm just going to pop it on there. And you can see it kind of just picks up a tiny bit of that. So again, harder on the Blushing Bride, and then pop it on the Mary Merlot. 2 of those. And then for my final, I have the little thistle that comes in it. I have the Balmy Blue and the Blueberry Bushel. Balmy Blue first. And again, this one you can kind of roll around the edges. That's all the stamping. At camp I will give them some sayings on the inside, but for the video you all know how to stamp a saying on the inside. So you can kind of see it just gives a little hint of 2 different colors, which is pretty. So then I'm going to take this and my snail. This is one of those cards, you know, where you go to flip and you're like, oh, that's really pretty. But I based my colors on this side. So even though it's beautiful on this side and I have to tape it, this is where I got my colors from, so it's okay. I can cover that up a little bit easier than sometimes you can. I'm going to pull my Big Shot up here. And this is one of the sets that comes with multiples of the dies, which is nice. If I can pick them up. My hands are kind of cold. So it's got, this is an outline, and I've got some champagne paper. I also have a brand new plate, so it's going to make some nice creaky noises. I'm going to run it through. Move it up where you can see it. So I've got this on some champagne for some leaf outlines. Then it's got these little balls, whoops, and some Mary Merlot. And then I'm just going to cut these in apart to make it a little bit easier to put them through on my machine. So the dies do come with 2 of each of these, which is nice. So 1 pass and I will have all my things cut. It also has a pretty label. So if you do the online class, we will definitely use the label. It also has a beautiful sprig in it that I didn't use. So you'll want to take a look in the catalog if you've not paid attention to this set yet. Sometimes, you know, when you line these flowers up on here, it's a little bit of round and round you go until you get it the way that it's supposed to be. And you would think that sometimes you would start close. There we go. There, that one I started perfect. Go figure. I don't think this one's exactly right. There we go. Line those up. Run them through. One cut. Pat does these fine, so you don't have to do twice through. My plate's a little bit cattywampus, so I'm going to go twice through since it's not coming through. You can see I didn't have my plate lined up all the way because I'm sitting down. But there we go. It didn't even make too many creaky noises. Pop all those down there, but because it's a nice new plate, they're all stuck in it. And then I'm going to take my background, take my thin die adapter out, and then to just add to the little frosted feel of the snow. This is our softly falling embossing folder, and I'm going to put the top where it's going to get the most snow, and then I'm going to put it through. You know, if you have these where it has either the Stampin' Up or the Sizzix is the top, so you want the those to go up here. This time I'll pull my thing all the way out. But if you put these on the top, then your indentions will go top ways, right side up. So roll that through once. That's all the big shot we need. This card's so super simple, but again, it's going to look really pretty, and it's going to look like you spent a little bit more time on it than you actually did. See how pretty that is? And whenever you have these two things and you run them through together on the big shot with an embossing folder, it goes a long way in smashing them together. So this is right side up. I'm going to take 2 pieces of ribbon. I have the Merlot and Copper, which if you love this ribbon, it will go away in the holiday catalog. And then my favorite, which is going to go, you know, when this came out, we used a lot in the summer. It was very summer polka dot ribbon to me. But now with the softly falling, doesn't it look like snow? So it's in the annual catalog, so you don't have to get it right away. Unless you want to make this card, then you would need it. So I'm going to layer it over the top. I want there to be a lot of ribbon on this card, so I'm going to cut it a little long. And I want the white to be on the top when it comes over, because it's the see-through piece. So lay that behind. I'm going to put it towards the top third of this because I'm going to have a little bouquet. And just tie a knot first. Again, trying to keep the white. It doesn't stay perfectly, but try to keep your polka dot ribbon on top. So just kind of hold it in place. Once you get the knot, then it's easy to, so there you go. It kind of loses a little bit of the copper effect on the bottom piece, but you'll get it when you have your bow. There we go. And then always just look to see which end is longer. So this end is longer, so I want it to be the one that I'm going to use to do my loop, since there's a little bit more of it. So make your little bow. Hold it. If you hold your bow in the direction you want it to go, and then wrap this the direction you want it to go. Then that gets your bows to go the direction. I know some of you email me and they're like, how do you tie your bows? So then, and then again, pull it the direction you want it to go. Now you can see my whites disappeared behind there, so I'm just going to take my hands. And this also has flipped backwards, which happens because the ribbon's two-toned on one side. So just flip it back around the other way. Because there's enough ribbon here, it'll hide it underneath it. If you just had one, you would see that it's flipped, but the polka dot ribbon's going to cover that up. See what I mean? I can just push that on top. And it will also keep your ribbon a little fluffy because that's flipped upside down back there. And then just trim your ends. Sometimes when you pull them, it kind of shreds them, and you don't want shreddy ribbon on your beautiful card. There we go. So you can see how pretty that is. I'm just going to mount that on here. And then I'm just going to take all my pieces. I'm going to start with the biggest ones, which would be the copper piece first. And I'm just going to build a little bouquet behind my bow. So put that one there. And then the next biggest one would be the Merlot berries. Them out here. Would have been easier if they had stayed in their die to pop them out. They're cut, but they're kind of delicate. I don't want to tear any of them. Sometimes when they're in the die, you can push them better. There we go. I debated on running 2 of all of these through, but really you don't need it. You're going to see it's just pretty without it. And sometimes, you know, I'm a more is more, and I have to stop myself because sometimes less is more. And I'm going to put my 2 roses back there. I don't want to cover up all of my blue because you can see that there's a limited number of the blue thistles. So I'm going to kind of tuck that back there. The same thing happened on my other card. So depending on how your paper falls, you might not have that issue, but I don't want to lose all of my thistles on here. Tuck that there. So you get a hint of them. And then I have my thistles here. You could use glue dots if you wanted to, but this is enough to stick them on. Or if you get it all on and you find out that one of them feels like they're not sticking, just add a glue dot behind one. This one I want it to be a little bit taller, but I also want it to be behind some of the berries. So see, it's good to not have it all the way stuck so you can kind of mess with it. So there you go. How cute is that? There's the other one. So it's a super simple, super pretty card. It could be Christmas. It has enough of a festive feel. You could change the colors up a little bit if you wanted it to be Christmas, and make it a little bit more of the red. Maybe make your thistles not be as blue and make your roses be more red or more of the Merlot and not so much of the pink. But it would be a beautiful, if you have any January weddings or December weddings, it would be a beautiful wedding card. So I hope you like that. Again, if you want to take my free online class, we'll be making 3 projects and all of the supplies are free. I send you the paper and the instructions for the 3 projects and the videos to follow along. So sign-ups will be quickly. There won't be any Christmas cards in it because you're going to get it around, hopefully a little before Christmas. But if you have some downtime in between Christmas and the New Year's and you want to just make 3 fun cards that you can use in January, it'd be a perfect class for you. So I hope you enjoy. Have a great night. Bye.